Welcome back to Dwellers in the Dark. I'm Dave, your host, and this is Jericho Jackson, again from New Zealand. I don't know if the previous video goes out before this one or not. So Jericho and myself, we sat down, we had a bit of a game. Now, Dwellers in the Dark haven't got an angle on bat reps just yet. We don't want to do same old because there's so many different bat reps out there. It can get a bit tedious if you're having the same format. So we're looking at different formats. Whether that works or not, we'll see. So we took a few photographs and we'll talk down through the game we had. So Jericho, what scenario did we have?
We played to the death.
Okay. We used the new Angmore board, so we'll give you a photograph of that hopefully now. Your army was Fellbeast, the Undying. You had a banner and you had 3 orc spear supports. Yeah. Then your other unit was Sharku, which was that 10 berserkers and two warg riders. Yeah. Okay. No shields on the warg riders. No. Excellent. And we had Haradrim Taskmaster, and then we had 10 reavers. Yeah. Now, the photographs, guys, are just a proxy of everything, okay? Bit of a mess. We just threw things together because Jericho's sorting out a few list bits and pieces to see how you get on in an upcoming event. Right. Now, my list is, it was 3 Fellbeasts and Shelob. It's 600 points. I took the Undying, I took the Knight of Umbar, and I took Kamul, because I think that is potentially one of the most competitive lists you could come up against in this event.
It's probably the 3 you'd take, I think.
Yeah. But as it goes, that and maybe Rivendell Knights or maybe Furka list are the 3 most powerful lists that you could come up against, and it was a good judge of how your list stood up. So we went through the game, and I set up with Shelob within just over 6 inches of the middle of the board into the death. You then set up a unit of berserkers, and then I put the 3 Fellbeasts relatively close to Shelob, with you putting the reavers in amongst. And then you had your Undying way back. You won priority on that move. You moved... Brilliant move. You moved 2 berserkers forward.
Oh, 1 reaver for 5/5.
Right, a reaver and a berserker. My apologies. And then you moved the Undying forward and compelled Kamul into those 2. And at that point, I mean, I could have resisted. I did try and resist, but you had got a 6, so it was going to be a lot of dice from Kamul, and I wasn't too sure where to play that. So risky biscuit, threw 1 dice, didn't get the 6, compelled into the charge, and then you ended up surrounding Kamul completely in the remainder of your turn. Which then allowed Shelob, the Knight of Umbar, and the Undying to get into positions on just reavers, I believe, so that I could get hurls off to knock most of the models down that were around Kamul, and hence saving Kamul's backside in a sense. I had to call 2 heroic moves for that, managed to get them off.
Combats.
2 heroic combats, should I say. Managed to get them off, and it worked out that you eventually only had 1 wounding attempt on Kamul from a reaver, rather than all of the berserkers you had around. Next turn then, I believe I won priority. You went for an heroic move. I called an heroic move as well. I got the roll off. In fact, throughout the rest of the game, I think I got maybe 70 to 80% of the roll offs.
Yeah, you won all the move offs. I think it was about 50-50 for the tide fights. And I think priority was 50-50 as well. Yeah, that was probably because I think once I was out of might, I did win a few to force you to use might.
Yes, you did. So I then took risk it for a biscuit, and I threw. What was it? The Knight of Umbar in onto your Undying, and you won the combat, rendered me, did 2 wounds, which I successfully saved with my faith. Close. At which point, then, I was being kind of tied up with the rest of the rates. We had a bit of dangerous terrain, piece that have on the Angmar board. That caused you a little bit of difficulty for movement.
Yeah.
Caused us both a bit of a conflab on what we should do and shouldn't do. So, I'm now in with the Knight of Umbar. You've knocked me back. What happened the next turn then? I think I won.
Yeah, I think it
priority.
Came down to another heroic move, and which you won again. And I think that turn you ended up getting 2 Felbies on the Undying.
I got 2 Felbies on the Undying, and I got the Knight of Umbar in on your
my banner.
Yeah.
So that would be 2 VPs gone if you killed it, which you did.
Yeah.
The rest,
you did a lot of damage or you did a lot of attacks towards Shelob, but only managed to get 1 through. I failed my courage, had to use 2 will, managed to get Shelob to survive, so that was okay for me. Things started to go downhill at that point when I prevented your Undying from having any more magic phase from that point on, I think.
Yeah.
Managed to call a lot of heroic moves which contained all of my models, and focused on the risky biscuit of taking on your berserkers. I think I killed 4 or 5 of your berserkers.
They weren't going down fast.
No. I did something which I wouldn't normally do against berserkers. I did hurls, but that was only to
stop them charging in again.
Yeah, and to get them off combats that they potentially could do a lot of damage in. We summed up the game with I finally managed to sap will off the Undying after a lot of effort. I think it came down to Kabul attempted, didn't get it off on a double 1. Triple one, yes, with Kamul. Then the Undying managed to do it, but you saved it on 1 dice. Yeah. And then the Knight of Umbar managed to come in and finish you off, luckily. So that was your Undying gone. And then it was a case of everything started going downhill for me, because your berserkers came back and took off.
Yeah, the Kamul and Knight of Umbar, I think,
Which, I think at this point, you were at 25%.
I think at that point, I didn't actually want to kill them. Or no, I wanted to kill them, but I wanted to kill the Undying mostly because...
Yeah, because I was already on 3 VPs for general. I was on minimum of 3 VPs for breaking you.
Yeah, you were breaking me by then.
Yeah, but if you managed to break me, which would have been just the Undying left...
Yeah, well, as soon as you broke me, I was limited to a draw, and I had to kill the Undying.
Yeah.
And try and keep 1 alive before I did that.
Before I broke you, I think my main draw was to kill the Sharku and kill the Taskmaster.
Yeah, Shelob did that one.
She did. That's poison for you. Won the combat on a 6, and then went away and
2
wounds on each, because obviously she had charged and knocked them down.
Yeah.
Then my next thing was I needed to get you to 25%, but the best way of doing that was charging Shelob and the Undying into your berserkers.
Yeah. Well, I was worried that you'd just fly the Undying off and let me fail courage tests.
Your berserkers will stay all day.
Even I was worried you'd fly him off and let me kill Shelob.
Right.
Because that would 25% you.
That would have been game over.
Still win 6-3. So
I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, but
it was an interesting game. But I think the key thing about it is that you learned that your army can be devastating against the 3 Felbies. And when we looked at the statistics afterwards, you came back with, if we were to play numerous times again,
I think I would win close to half.
Yeah, I don't dispute that. It comes down really to how you deploy your berserkers and how me or your opponent deploys the Felbies. So, sorry this hasn't been a proper bat rep. We'll try and throw some photographs in and a few bits and pieces. Sorry I've done all the talking. Your turn.
Yeah.
Say something.
It was fun. It was a great board to play on, your new Angmar board.
Yeah, just need a new snow mat, don't I? Yeah, hopefully we'll get that from Urban Mats. We'll have a chat with them, and we've got the Yeah, new stuff coming on. You know all about that. So, right, we're going to wrap this up, and thank you very much, Jericho.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Cheers.
Good game.